Japan Journal, the internet's #1 English language weekly online cybercast from Japan. Japan Journal with Mal Adams.
Do it.
Bob, thanks for this time, for giving us this exclusive interview for Japan Journal. I really appreciate it. It's an amazing story. In summary, can you just tell us what brought you back to Japan this particular week in pursuit of justice for yourself? Can you describe what the issue is?
Yes, well, I'm here to actually sue the magazine Shinkan Bunshin.
Bunshin.
Yes, this, I think it's pronounced Shinkan Bunshin.
Yes.
And, well, this magazine has decided to release false allegations with my ex-manager. So I'm here to sue them for a defamations of character charge.
Okay. Shinkan Bunshin, in my understanding, I'm a long-time correspondent in Japan, is well known as some sort of a tabloid, like a British tabloid. Scandal magazine, scandal rag, you know. And your claims based on, there's no corroborating evidence to any of these claims that were made by your former manager. Is that right?
That's correct. My ex-manager has decided to collaborate with this scandalous magazine. You know, and I'm glad that's what it is. It's a tabloid scandalous magazine. Many people in the United States, we have these in the United States.
Well, it's famous in Japan.
Yes,
I know.
You know, and like sometimes you may have seen, like they say Bigfoot was sighted near a forest and has jumped off of, you know, a bridge. Well, that's the kind of magazine that this is. And unfortunately, many Americans and many people around the world, they think that these magazines never exist in other countries. Right. Well, they do exist. Right. And when they lend themselves, or when they say that they're a very credible source, many people believe it. I'm here to set the record straight. I'm here to tell everybody, listen, this is a false magazine. So in particularly those in America who have decided to pick this up, or in other fictitious websites and magazines who pick this up, I'm here to let them know what they're doing is wrong. Absolutely. And I'm also here to now get my justice back. So listen, if they're going to exploit me, I'm going to show everyone the truth.
All right. So you're protecting your image as a celebrity superstar in Japan, if I may use that term, in all your activities, which not only deal with fighting, but you do philanthropical thing, you support nonprofit organizations, children's funds, and these kind of things in your activity, and you're well known. So your credibility and your reputation is sound in Japan. And you know, I gotta say, I couldn't believe the story myself when knowing you as I have in the past, how this has come out. So you're looking for financial reparations against this magazine.
That's right. Absolutely. Listen, they're costing me time, money, emotions,
right, and bad reputation.
Bad reputation. Yeah. It's been a severe. Well, it cost me a lot. My family's going through a lot. My close friends are going through a lot.
Right.
And it's amazing because, well, everyone seems to be profiting from this blood money.
Propaganda, yeah. Whatever. Yeah, okay.
Blood money, propaganda, it's incredible.
Okay, so as media, you know, and media is in a revolutionary state right now, given social media, and anybody can put anything on air. So you're saying these other publications have picked up this story and run with it without any validation, corroboration, or verification of these claims. No one really contacted you. This Tokyo Reporter, is it?
Oh, yes. One of them is the Tokyo Reporter. Now, this guy is incredible. And I'm glad that there was an opportunity to meet some of these wannabe reporters and wannabe journalists. And this is going to happen from now on. So any celebrity, anyone, well, let's just ask the source. Let's see if we go take it to them face to face and ask and find out what's going on. Well,
so you actually conducted an interview with this
yeah, we're tracking them down. We're actually wanting to hear how they got this information.
Pardon me saying, but you seem to be laughing because we've got videotape of that interview. It is kind of ridiculous.
Yes, we do.
Let's take a look at that videotape right now. if you don't mind.
Okay, so you're saying that you were cleared in Washington court, right?
Yes. And there was never anything criminal in the
But
United
do you
States.
have the document that shows it was cleared? Because that's just the initial document.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a denial letter. This never went anywhere. This is a denial letter. Sir, this is
Okay,
denied.
so look.
You have it.
No,
have
I
this
received this,
completely.
but I received
you
this.
have the four. Where's the four pages you got?
Yeah.
The whole thing. It says right there. The whole thing is. Sir, do you know how to read a court document, sir?
Okay,
it's
okay.
completely clear.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, look.
Sir, the
In
whole thing is
attachment,
finished.
I received this as an attachment to that email you said you don't know anything about. Fine, okay? But in that, they said that there was some kind of court held in April.
In Japan.
No, it said April.
Japan.
Look, man.
Listen, I'm telling you, you're getting a correction right now.
Fine. It's just
In Japan, I am suing the magazine for defamation. There's no criminal case against me at all. In America or in Japan. The only case is defamation of character in Japan that I'm going against them with. That's it.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
That started in
Fine.
April. That started in April.
I got it. Now, the thing is this, though. How did I get this?
You know, I have no idea. Why should I know how you got that?
Because those.
Are you a reporter? Did it go to your personal email or to your reporting email that's out to the public?
I received it.
Do you, as a reporter, receive anonymous tips?
Yes, but
Okay, so do you ask the people who are anonymous who did you go back and track that?
And they told me I did, and they told me that there was a court case in the States in April.
Again, I'm going to tell it to you right now. A court case occurred in Japan in April. That's when it started, in April, against Busan for defamation. There's nothing in the United States. You've got the document right there. Do you see the document,
That's
sir?
fine, that's fine.
Do you see? There's no court case in America. Do you understand that, sir? Do you understand that? Thank you.
Fine.
You're a reporter, you receive anonymous tips, you receive emails, and all of a sudden you're coming back and asking me. Go back to all your anonymous tips and ask them why they're sending that to you, sir.
I did.
All of them that you've written in your past.
No, I.
Okay, so knock it off. No, do it here. Let's go.
And I'm trying to get you to own up to the responsibility of publishing this shit individually yourself on the social media, right?
I did it. I wrote it.
Okay, thank you. Did you get a hold of the accused?
No.
Listen, what's your credibility as a journalist? When did you study journalism? And are you just a freelancer?
Yes, I'm
Okay, this is a public document. It's the name of her children and everything covered up on this. And you put it out there. So you are on record for your name doing this.
You wanted to report the fact that this was thrown out of the U.S. court system?
I will do it.
Okay, so Bob, on a higher level, you appear to be taking the high road on this thing because people who really know you are an entertainer in all aspects of your personality and your profession. You do make movies, but some of the most interesting stuff you do to show how well loved and appreciated you are in Japan, you got a ton of commercials on here in Japanese television. I hope I'm going to try to get a clip of one of those. That's when I came to Tokyo to do this interview, the first thing I saw in the taxi cab was your newest commercial on heavy rotation. I couldn't believe it. I said, I'm going to meet this guy right now.
So, every commercial or on every taxi cab in Japan, there's my last one is called a B-Dash commercial.
It's crazy. And so I was like blown away by this. I'm thinking I had an exclusive. This guy's all over the media anyway in Japan.
新しく BI 導入しちゃった。
ヒーロー大丈夫？
ウェブ接客も入れないとね。
カスト心配。
DMP 入れようよ。
さすが。
やばいって。成果出てないのにどんだけ金使うんだ。
あいつが悪いんです。セール買い時かな。
ボブ、B ダッシュならたった一つで工数を大幅に削減。
一つの機能が5万円から。
めっちゃええやん。
おかえり。
5万円から始めるデータマーケティング B ダッシュ。
So now let's pick up two things. So I said that to suggest that you are highly respected in Japan, and you were recently invited to the very famous and prestigious Foreign Correspondents Club as a guest speaker, an evening with Bob Sapp, and they wanted to hear your side of the story. So you were the guest speaker, is that right?
Yes, I was the guest speaker.
At this event, among the prestigious Japanese press and foreign press who were there, and these associate members of this organization who are business leaders and political leaders in Japan who were in your audience to hear your word from your mouth. I'd like to show a clip of that or two.
Bob Sapp, as many of you know, was once and still is very famous in Japan, famous for mixed martial arts, television personality, his excellent Japanese. Bob is an extremely bright person. Despite his image of being this giant hulkish figure, Bob is highly intelligent. When you hear him speak, everyone knows this.
ありがとう。
はい、ボブ・サップさんという方は日本でもとても有名な方です。そしてですね、マーシャルアーツにも長けていて、そして、この大きな体で、お名前も有名な方なんですけれども、何よりもその人柄が、とても尊敬されているということで、日本でも、長く活動なさっている方です。
Also with us today is Malcolm, and I need to make sure I got Malcolm's last name correct here, is Malcolm Adams.
That's correct.
Malcolm has been a correspondent for CBS News, and he was instrumental in starting CNN Japan in the day, so it's very nice to welcome here a veteran journalist who has done very well for himself.
はい、マルコムさんの下の名前を確実に思い出そうとしているんですけれども、マルコム・アダムス氏です。CBS にもともとはいらした方ですが、CNN ジャパンがこちらで始まった当時からの、ジャーナリストとして活動している方なので、この場にお迎えできたことをとても光栄に思います。
CNN の海外の視点初めて作ったんだ。CBS の後は CBS で多重放送もやりましたから、 NHK 国際局もやりましたから、今個人でやってますから、オンラインのジャパンジャーナルを放送します。ありがとう。よろしくお願いします。 Thank you.
Bob has a speech prepared, and he's going to talk a little about his celebrity life, so we're going to let Bob have the floor for 20 minutes, and then we will take questions.
So again, my name is Bob Sapp. Some of you may know me as Bob the Beast Sapp.
はい、ボブ・サップと申します。皆さん、ボブ・ビースト・サップとしてご存知ではないでしょうか。
You know, so today, of course, you may have some questions about the recent kind of scandal news, this article, so I can definitely answer those. However, I just have to, the court has asked that I just say ex-manager and leave the name omitted. But other than that, everything is fantastically fine. There's no worries.
最近ですね、ちょっとスキャンダラスな話題何かもありましたので、これに関しても今日はしっかりとお答えをしていきます。いろいろ前のマネージャーだったりとかいろいろありますけれども、すべてうまくいっておりますということを先にお伝えしておきます。
Which is absolutely amazing because that touches on what I'm here to speak on tonight, and that is, of course, being an entertainer and being an entertainer here in Japan.
Wow, Bob, that's amazing, man. You wowed that group, man. They were in love with you. So that shows the reaction, the love they have for you in this thing. It's pretty amazing. And thank you for allowing me to sit at the head table to introduce you and participate in this and cover this. You're a busy guy, man.
Yes, absolutely. You know, the Beast is always globe-trotting around. One of the things I'm doing is I have a special charity where I'm giving some clean water filters to the children of Africa. Hello.
Everybody here. That clean water? Yes? Yes! Have great grades? Yes? Yes! Study math? Yes? Yes! Yes! And strong. Yes! And smart. Yes!
Live in Tokyo here on Japan Journal, the internet's #1 English language online cybercast from Japan, on the occasion of Mr. Bob Sapp's interview with one of the prominent magazines and publications in Japan regarding his defamation suit against a news magazine that has defamed his character allegedly in Japan. We'll have more details coming up as the day goes on. This is Brother Mal in Tokyo with Bob Sapp. There was some coverage of you at the Tokyo District Court the other day, and you were with your new friend and partner, future partner, and give me the background on that. What were they trying to decide there?
Well, one, my friend and partner was we decided she was also harassed by my ex-manager.
I see.
Yes, so she's decided to come out and say, listen, if he's so scary, I'm no scared of him. I'm no getting beaten up. So she kind of came over here in support to show she's been harassed as well, and we presented overwhelming evidence about how she's also been harassed.
I see.
On the side of Shinkan Bunshin's side, it's only one-sided. There's zero witnesses to any incident that's been described, and that's one of the reasons why the case has been dismissed and denied in the United States court. So
so tell me about that. So there was a actual suit beyond the Japanese claims against you. The person in question, your former manager, tried to make the same claim in the United States courts. As a Japanese national going to the United States and making this claim against you, what was the result of that?
Well, in 2017, that article came out about domestic violence. In 2018, I was served with domestic violence allegations and papers. Those papers were, of course, denied. So the ex-manager in Japan was denied, and the case has been thrown out of court. So all of this evidence that's being presented from the magazine, and more from the magazine and from the ex-manager, has been given its day in court in the United States. They've heard all of the evidence. They had everything, and well, I never knew that there was a such thing called hypnotism stalking. So my charges of hypnotism stalking, well, that's no gonna. You don't get locked up for anything like that. Yes. So yes.
You discussed this at the press club the other night, but just a word or two about what you have to deal with to protect yourself against this, social media driven nonsense,
Yes.
so how has that affected you?
Well, I can tell you one thing that you do is you have to always maintain a sense of control. Okay. In this particular situation, I maintain control, and well, no matter what, sometimes it seems like no matter what path you take, it's going to be bad. And in particular, this case, we're talking about the fact that when my ex-manager came over to the hotel, that's right, in April, came over to a hotel, and you can see what she's doing, begging to get into the room. So I never let her in because she was drunk and, of course, causing a ruckus, and I'm very scared at that time of getting a real domestic violence charge. She comes in, she comes into the Tokyo Dome, up to my room, bangs on the door, wanting to get in, bang, 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 leaves, I think, and somehow she ended up getting a key to the room, but because I had the upper lock locked, she was unable to get in. Bangs, 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 wants to come in, so I never let her in. Can you only imagine if I let her in? Let me ask you a question. Can you imagine if that was me banging on a hotel room door drunk to get into my ex's or a female's room? I'm pretty sure we got...
I understand. Yeah.
If I was to do that,
no question or doubt about it.
Or if an African American was to do that, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure we all know if something happens like that, leave it alone. Lock the door, start rolling the camera. That's what I did. So
okay, let me get a little bit clarity on this. So the sequence, the time frame of this woman, you've got video of her banging on your door talking about let me in, let me in. Now,
yes.
At what point in time did this transpire in terms of from the initial claims against you? This is after that?
No, this is before. So what we've got is we've got me telling her to just leave me alone, her banging on my hotel room drunk, sending me messages drunk, banging on my hotel room drunk. That's right, she's actually stalking me, and well,
that may be the hypnotic stalker.
That's you know, I mean, then
not to make light of it, but that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Checks it. Well, if you'd like to get into little details, bangs on the hotel room door, checks in to a mental clinic 2 times, then sees me appearing with my friend and current partner on Facebook. Then the next day, I'm getting sued by her, or according to her lawyers, served papers, which I've never received. And then the magazine came out. The magazine article came out at the end of 2017. But what many people have no idea, in the first part of March of 2017, she, well, we can check it out. She says that she's got the messages, or I'm sorry, she has documents and staff and all messages, text messages, for making a cover of a magazine. This was in March 2017, so this summary of events is absolutely incredible. Now, after the magazine comes out, the big question is if there is domestic violence and you're scared of me, one, why do you show up to the hotel room and want to see me? And then when the magazine's out, obviously I'm never talking to her or doing anything. Well, she imitates to be me, impersonates me on Instagram using the same email address. Well, let's just say I have no idea if that is her, the ex-manager, but somebody using the same email address, posing all personal photos that were only taken between myself and her are being posted on Instagram. Well, many of the photos I can say are the personal photos, so I do know where they came from and who has access to them, and they were only the ones between myself and the ex-manager. So somehow, someone using the same email address with the same personal photos that were only on the ex-manager's phones are on Instagram. That Instagram has been taken down. The magazine in the court has seen to that, but now all the other impersonating email sites and social sites, they're now getting taken down because of the severity of this matter. So everybody knows that I have a true case of stalking, true case of cyber stalking.
Well, it sounds like a setup.
Yes,
in the mix,
yes, and blackmail and Photoshop.
You have evidence, documented of a sequence of events and activities to set you up and then followed along. So she's looking for some money. She was trying to exploit your business.
Yes, well, you know, my ex-manager is now a professional domestic violence counselor who has been beat up by a professional fighter, and she's charging for her services.
Good work. So, good work if you can get it.
Yeah, you know what? But
what a reference. Yes. Bob Sapp, domestic violence. Give me a job for life.
Yes, but that's kind of strange in and of itself, because as you've seen, or on the Tokyo Reporter, he's saying that he is talking to her and she never wants to do an interview. So maybe she's saying she needs some money and he never wants to pay. It's kind of confusing, because how did he get that information to contact her in the first place? But
well, I had a chance to interview him later, and what we learned, and you know, I kind of got offended by his modus of operandi, if I may use that term, as a non-journalist, a guy who doesn't verify or corroborate evidence. He offended my ethical sense of journalistic endeavors, you know what I'm saying? And we have a clip from that during that interview. But this guy's a hobbyist. He just regurgitates stuff that's scandalous news or we call it in the media, social media, clickbait. Anything that he thinks he can get some clicks on from his followers, you know, he's probably monetized sites. So you got people, you got scavengers, man, trying to bite on your business just because you're famous person. So I just can't imagine what it's like being a celebrity and how to manage that kind of stuff, given the nature of social media now. And anybody can say anything, make any claim against you.
Yes, absolutely. And in reference to that Tokyo Reporter, wow, I've taken a look at the site and it seems to be all crime types of
scandalous stuff.
And why is my name up there? with a court document and there never being any, I've never had any police locking me up, any charges, files on me, zero.
Criminal record.
Criminal charges. And remember, that charge came, those allegations or that petition that was denied, that came after the magazine. So if we're talking about the Tokyo Reporter putting me as a criminal, there was zero anything to do with any police in Tokyo, the United States at that time. So why are they printing things that are saying criminal in all of this type of stuff? Criminal involvement, criminal allegations. These are no allegations. These are no accusations. This is a story.
Wow.
A fiction story. I have no idea if, because the medical community has been involved, if we say it's science fiction story. It's incredible. You've got to see the level.
But your point about him parroting the Japanese news. He has no original investigation, no original journalism of his own. He's just copying it, summarizing that news, not even honest direct translations.
That's right.
But he condenses it, summarizes it in his own words. So he owns that document and he needs to take responsibility for publishing such uncorroborated information. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
And has he atoned for that? Has he ultimately confessed that no, he did not check your documents from the United States?
He never checked. He never checked anything. He never checked in with me. And according to what he's saying, he's never even checked in with the person who he's even writing about. So he's just writing things up, and because of this, well, you would think that at least he would later see if there was any real criminal charges for the United States to do anything. Well,
later,
nothing.
Or before he published it.
Yeah, before he published it. He did nothing. And so if there was nothing out before he published it, I should have never been called a criminal. And if he wanted to even follow up on the story, he should have seen almost a year later about what's going on. So, at the name of the game and the bottom line is this, if you're going to be a journalist, let's resource, let's fact check, let's actually do what's called real journalism. Let's not do sitting down behind and writing it in your own words, claiming to be a reporter.
Trying to gain fame and notoriety in Japan on a fake tip, huh?
That's right.
Fake news.
Incredible. And wow, I just am still wondering, how did this guy contact her? Absolutely incredible. It's just... How?
Well, back to the main person that you're making this claim against to get reparations for the damage. Shinkanbunshin. This one Tokyo Reporter is just one derivative of that story.
Oh, yes.
They're the initial guy. But, I mean...
Many in the United States picked this up, too.
It shows how this can go like wildfire based on totally fake news, as you're alleging, and will be... you will prevail in a court of law in Japan?
Yes, I believe I'm
here in Japan.
I do believe that I'm going to win overwhelmingly with blackmailing evidence, Photoshop evidence of stalking. I mean, fake news. Somebody that's saying that they're doing fake news, and even in America, it was picked up by a really ridiculous website by the name of Bloody Elbow.
Okay.
I mean, come on. This is what it comes down to. Is just a lot of people that want to say, "Look at me," but this is serious issues. Let's take I have no problem with these guys wanting to comment and play their little fictional writing when it comes down to me fighting or anything like this. But serious issues that deal with this needs to be left to the professionals.
Right.
Entertainment, you guys can write about entertainment, but when you start thinking that you can
personal life,
these are affecting children. This is affecting people's lives. You're no 60 Minutes guys. You're no CNN. Okay, you're no real ABC News. Yeah. You've got to stay out of that.
Now, talking about personal life, give me a general description of your relationship with this former manager. We're not allowed to use the name because it's
because the courts have asked.
But suffice it to say,
the Japanese courts have asked that we know that I know use her name, which of course I will abide by because I'm here in Japan and that's the rules.
All right.
It's very complicated because the United States document is a completely public and open document.
Yeah.
And that's
and the naming of the person is essential to the procedure.
Everything is in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
we have that document.
Yes, you have the document,
please.
and you know the courts. Anyone can have access to this document. So we've got a serious case here of the Japanese courts giving privacy, and then you've got the fact that in the United States it was given entirely public.
And just summarize for our viewers what that document stated at the end of the day. Deny. What is
the document? The
denial of
protection. The petition of protection was denied, and the court document was dismissed. And if you're saying, well, why is that? Well, it's very simple. The petition of protection was asking, can you please stay away from your ex-manager for 500 feet or the term 500, so I could get no closer to her than 500 feet, and I had to remain out of contact in sight for 6 months to a year. Remember, this is 2018 that this has occurred. Well, so my ex-manager, who is a Japanese national, so she lives in Japan, I stay in the United States, that's further than 500 feet, and I've seen her for almost 2 years, so at that time, so absolutely incredible. So can you see
a little bit of a delayed claim, an allegation?
You know, I mean, and asking for, I mean, that. So
2 years before that, you'd have been 10 feet away from
yes, that's right.
Without any violation. Okay, right. I just want to establish that. But also one more thing about your relationship, without getting too deep. She was not only your business manager, assistant, because of her bilinguality and her former experience in booking other artists from America, rappers and stuff.
Yes.
I've seen photos with her like that. So she had a career, you know, looking a little bit like a gold digger in some respect. You know what I'm saying? But my question is, give me a word about you became close. She was a partner as well as a business person, but she was a lifestyle partner. You actually supported her family. She has two children.
Well, in dealing in the entertainment industry, we all kind of get to know everybody like family, if you understand what I'm saying. Everybody's kind of interconnected.
Crossing paths at some point along the tours.
So I crossed paths with a lot of them, and I think what you're referring to is the fact that, there's a lot of rappers and ones that say gangster rap and everything, all of this. Yes, she was performing and well, she was engaging in contact with various of those. And of course, she ended up in that industry, and of course, I ended up meeting her through some of those contacts, and that is my fault. But you know what? She does have
nice reference.
Yeah, exactly.
My bad.
Yeah, big time. So.
Okay. But no,
she does have children, and
you actually took care of her.
Yes, I did. I took care of her and took care of her children.
You're a single man, no children. So these were your kids.
I'm still single, no married, and no children. And well, I do enjoy just.
But you were like a
guardian. That was the first time. Everyone was like, what's amazing is it was Bob Sapp's fame is dwindling in Japan. No, I was playing the father role. Yeah. Can you imagine how difficult this was? This was flying her and her children every 3 months because we had the visa issue 3 months from Japan to the United States for 5 years. So it was incredible. Wow. So we did. I did my very best.
Wait a minute. Tell me, Daddy, you were commuting her children back and forth every 3 months for 5 years?
Yes, on top, yes. And as you can
that's
imagine,
3 months, that's 3 months, and that's 4 times 5. That's 20 trips?
Yes.
Back and forth?
Yes. Incredible. And so I had her kids going to school full-time in Japan and full-time in the United States. At that time, I believe that was the best to get them organized. And we were dating and wanting to find out and kind of figuring out how a relationship would go in dealing with children, international children, biracial children. Right. This takes some time.
So let me just describe. Those are children from a previous relationship.
Yes, from a previous relationship.
Was it African American?
Yes, well, that's true. African American. So they do have African descent, real African descent. And that's amazing in and of itself because
of her negligence with her as a mother, those children ended up in
a shelter. Yes, and I was placed guardianship by the people and the government and herself of Japan. So that's one of the reasons why I had a strong bond. I've had some run-ins, and I think everyone maybe has kind of had some run-ins at some point, if they had a down and hard time. Well, kids that were placed in a shelter for neglect and various intoxicants from their mother.
So you took care of these children?
They put that in my responsibility. In order for them to be with their mother now, that's how they ended up being, is because I am the one that took them out of the shelter and paid for all of the various fines and all of those things. They were, can you believe they were put in the shelter by the ex-manager's mother? So that had nothing to do with me at all. That was by her own family.
Oh, so the mother recognized the children were not
in need.
Their best interest was not being looked for under the custody of the mother, right?
That's right.
That's amazing. So finally, about that personal stuff, and I don't want to get too deep with it. It's always been exposed, but how would you describe or summarize the mental condition, the emotional condition of this woman? She's not well nor stable, from what I can gender. You speak on that for a second.
Well, you know, we do have documentation, and fortunately or unfortunately, so does everyone else, because this is now a pure, open, public court document in the United States. Well, that's
about medical treatment or something.
She's checked into the hospital twice due to her medical conditions.
Which is, how would you describe it?
Well, I think it's complete over obsessiveness, delusions of grandeur.
Depression,
delusions of grandeur, PTSD. These are all the things that I feel, but she's been diagnosed with clinical depression and PTSD. She's been diagnosed with these things. And this is, unfortunately, I think that because this was that diagnosis occurred before she did the magazine interview, I think that this is a pure case of negligence on the magazine, but there's also collaboration and photoshopping.
Negligence in the sense that they did not really vet her.
Yes, and they did no vetting at all, or they were working with her, because she's saying that they're working with her.
Now that's an interesting part. What makes you think that? Give me just a brief assessment of why you suspect that.
On March 21st, 2017,
some kind of collusion.
I've received a message from her that she was working with she has all documentary and staff, in that I will be beast beating women on the cover. This was in March 2017. This magazine allegation came out in the end of December of 2017. So in March, this was already set up. And then when I never spoke with her or saw her, then she shows up at the Tokyo Dome Hotel begging to get in. I never let her in, and then we've had these amazing, incredible events from my partner, me getting ready to be sued or whatever, and then we've had 2 times of checking into the hospital, and then the magazine, and then the United States court, and then the impersonation of me by her, and then her. Oh, it's incredible.
So all this stuff is documented.
Oh, you gotta see it. It's absolutely.
So what? Just from hearing about it, and I checked some of these documents. But my suggestion and question to you is, and your lawyers, are you also suggesting that there was some collaboration for financial reasons with this magazine, who tried to control the narrative with her support, using her as a parrot?
Absolutely.
Just speak on that to one.
Well, she says it. This is coming from her. I've got several messages coming from her that she, in March of 2017, that she's working with the magazine. And she even gives the languages that the magazine's going to write it out in. She gives Spanish, French, and English. They're ready. So they were ready to go in 2017. This is coming from their own client. Wow. You want to know what's one thing I find amazing is that this magazine is talking about many messages from me. Well, yeah, there are many messages from me, especially when you Photoshop the conversation and delete out her words and only have mine. Yes, this went to the court. This is amazing. But
what evidence do you have? Do you have photos?
Yes, we've got photos. They actually said, well, this is easy. They submitted.
We can see the conversation.
You can see the conversation.
Flow,
you can judge for yourself.
But it's not sequential.
You can judge for yourself. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, my God. It's sad, man, and I'm not going to make light of it, but you're probably in your right position to be confident.
Yes, I'm extremely confident. And now that I think now
slam dunk. Huh?
Yeah, I believe now that everybody sees that the court as the court of law in the United States, and everyone now can see how this transpires. They can really get in an aspect, which is what I was speaking about when I went to the Foreign Correspondence Club, about how it is to be an entertainer and how you have to deal with these things, from whether it's over obsessive fans, whether it's, you know, ridiculous critics that have no idea. This is what it is to be a celebrity. So you've got to look at it. I went through my emotional period of crying and being upset, and now after a few years later, I'm just more like, this is incredible. But you got to think about it. At least this person, the manager, has now found their new place as selling the story of being a domestic violence counselor beat by a professional fighter. This is what's on her Twitter and Facebook. So this is no mine. And for booking,
if it were true,
but for
what
booking,
a resume.
Yes,
you know, it would be.
Yes, but for booking, well, the first words are mommy. Incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Listen, I'm not going to take too much more of your time, but in summary, and in the interest of transparency, as I'm doing this coverage of you, I had interest in doing this mini documentary, if we call it, and also some legitimate news publication to offset the negative news that here's the. I think this may be the first time that your words have been responded to or
Yes.
shared on a global level like this on this publication.
Absolutely. So I do think
We appreciate
It's
you
fantastic.
allowing us to have coverage of it. But my final word, I got to tell you, the beast is one image, but the duality of that image in Japan. Japanese know you. This guy's a sweetheart, man. I followed you around for 3 days. The people, the kids coming up to you. Man, how does that make you feel? You've got an incredible relationship with this country and the people, man. I don't care if it's government leaders or the kids walking on the street. Yeah. I followed you around for almost a week, man, and I was amazed. You know, that's a lot of love you got over here, man.
Yes, it
in
is.
Japan. And so, and the funny part about it, everybody knows you to be. Give me a beast face for our viewers. What kind of?
Well, you're on with the beast.
Right, and so. People are, it's scary, but after it's over, you're smiling, you're a big lovable guy, man. And I've seen it day after day everywhere we went and everywhere our cameras followed you.
Yes.
It's an incredible thing, man. Good luck with your procedures, man, and Godspeed to the remuneration and all of this stuff. And take care of your image. I know it's a tough task.
Oof.
Tough being the beast, huh?
Sure is. And, you know, sometimes my fights occur outside of the ring, as well as in it.
You put it better than I could right there. That is.
Let's make sure I win this one.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Beast. Thank you very much for your time, man. And we'll be following this story up as it evolves throughout the remaining months of this year. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. All right. Peace.
Japan Journal, the internet's #1 English language weekly online cybercast from Japan. Japan Journal with Mal Adams.